John Mayer and Martin guitarists have come together to celebrate the 20th anniversary of John's very first signature guitar, the OM-45, and of course 20 years of John being a Martin artist. And to celebrate this, they have released two extremely limited edition 20th anniversary guitars. The very first one being this insane OM-45 Platinum Limited Edition 20th Anniversary Mayer Signature, and then a 20th anniversary version of the OMJM. Now this video is going to be in two parts. First off, we are going to discuss the 20th anniversary version of the OMJM, as that is a limited edition version of an already established John Mayer signature Martin. Then we will discuss the just insanity that is this OM-45 after that one. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and let's just dive right on in to the OMJM 20th anniversary. Looking at this OMJM 20th anniversary version, I think there's one thing we all can agree on. It's very polarizing. It's very striking. And I really don't believe there's going to be much kind of middle ground or gray area for opinion. I feel like majority of people are either going to really love this or they're really not going to like it and it's not going to be for them. This Grey Sunburst, as they call it, and I keep just saying Silverburst in my mind and when discussing this with some of my friends, this Grey Sunburst Silverburst is very unique, and I don't think any of us would have really expected John and Martin to have gone this route for a finish on a limited edition guitar. And what's kind of funny is one of the major clues that anything like this was happening was actually in the merch that was sold during the first part of the solo tour. You might have noticed that there was a Martin Guitars John Mayer Solo Tour t-shirt, much like the one I'm wearing right now, and on the back it said celebrating 20 years of partnership. And I'm sure some people might have thought, oh, well, if they're making a 20th anniversary t-shirt and kind of, celebrating that with a t-shirt, that's cool. But a guitar would be an even bigger celebration, and of course they have released two different versions. And if you've been paying attention to the rumor mill around end of March, beginning of April, there was kind of talk and some images kind of floating around online of what these guitars were kind of aiming to look like at the time, and talk about a potential release back then. I have no idea kind of what went on and happened, but we have the official release of them now. And the one thing with the change from the apparent images that were going around is that the burst appears to be different, a lot less yellow and more just kind of a gray to almost a white kind of look to it, which I really like and think is a lot better than what I'd kind of originally seen. The one change though that I'm a little disappointed about, I guess, that I personally really liked on the original kind of version or whatever it is, again, I don't really know. There were two X's for the inlay on the 12th fret indicating the 20th anniversary on the OMJM, and now it doesn't have that, and to me that was just one of the kind of defining factors that set this 20th anniversary apart from the standard OMJM. Speaking of things that separate this guitar from the standard OMJM, as far as I can tell, there really isn't that much different apart from the finish of this guitar. One thing that is different is on the 20th anniversary there is a 1/4 inch scallop X bracing pattern versus the 5/16 bracing pattern on the standard OMJM. And in some of the wording here that they talk about, they say that this OMJM's ample body is assisted to greater heights of voluminous projection by Martin's 1/4 inch scalloped X bracing pattern. I'm not a massive acoustic guy, to be honest, but it seems like that is just an addition that's kind of going to make the guitar a little bit louder, I guess is what it sounds like, which is pretty cool for a design change when it comes to this 20th anniversary edition. One other change that they talk about in terms of specifications is the actual neck wood on the 20th anniversary. It's mahogany, where if you look at the specifications for the original version, it just says select hardwood for the neck wood on the standard OMJM. So that's something to keep in mind that is going to be different in the neck material, which is a very nice touch that they've done for this 20th anniversary edition. Apart from that, all the specifications, as far as I can tell, are the same. They've kept everything, all the design aspects of the OMJM there, and even the inlays are identical again as far as I can tell. I really truly wish they would have kept those two X's for the 12th fret. That was just a really cool touch, but some of my friends even really weren't fans of it, so kind of depends on however you feel on it. Some people probably would have hated it, some people would have loved it like me. That's just kind of the way it goes. Now at this point I'm sure a lot of you are asking, okay, well what's the price of this limited edition 20th anniversary version of the OMJM? And this is one of the best parts about this whole thing, and something that I really think everyone should applaud Martin and John for doing. The limited edition version of the OM-JM is $3,999, the exact same as a brand new version of the standard guitar. They did not put a price premium on this limited edition version at all. I think that is absolutely fantastic, and I am a bit surprised, to be honest, because they easily could have charged a premium for a limited edition version of this guitar. But instead, kind of what they've done is they are producing as many as they sell within the year of 2023, meaning you have from now until December 31st to place an order for one of these guitars. And if this isn't for you and you still were thinking of buying an OM-JM, well, you can easily buy the standard version, and it's not really like the price is any factor. It's just truly if you like this version or not. Now, depending on how many of these guitars they do sell, I can see this guitar appreciating in value after they've all sold out next year even, compared to, you know, the standard version of the guitar, which is just going to depreciate as long as they keep making them. But this version is going to appreciate, and this will have some sort of collector's value. Now, I am not a financial advisor by any means, but this guitar being limited edition, I truly believe will hold more value compared to the standard guitar. So it will be really interesting to see how many of these guitars Martin actually sells, because there's no set production number. It's just limited to the calendar year of 2023. And had these guitars released a little earlier in the year, like they were kind of rumored to have, that would have just probably made for a higher production run. So it looks like for both guitars, they're going to have a shorter production run than probably initially kind of intended or anticipated to have had. I really do wish, though, that for the OM-JM, they would have given it a full actual year. So from now till a year to celebrate the 20th anniversary together, you have 1 year to kind of purchase this guitar. For the OM-45, sure, make it limited to 100 units or the calendar year of 2023, whatever they want to do with that one, because that's very unique and just a completely different realm and price point compared to this version. But it would have been kind of nice to have them make it a year celebration with this guitar, or have released this guitar at the beginning of the year before the solo tour even kicked off. That's one kind of thing I wish would have happened, but I mean, everything is still fantastic. I think this is going to be a really wicked instrument. If you've been looking to pick up an OM-JM, I think this version is going to be just really special and really cool, and I'm very excited to see these in the wild and actually in hand, and some actual just photos from people around showing off this finish kind of in more person than just through the promotional photos. But enough about that 20th anniversary OM-JM. Let's move on to this absolutely insane guitar. Now, this is officially called the Martin OM-45 John Mayer Signature Platinum Limited Edition, and it's in Grey Sunburst, just like the OM-JM 20th anniversary, and that's just the overall theme they're going for here with this silver burst, Grey Sunburst aesthetic on both guitars. And let's just rip the band-aid off right now, because while the OM-JM 20th anniversary was relatively affordable, so to speak, and the same price as the standard OM-JM, which is really great, this guitar costs $26,310.76 Canadian, because I'm Canadian, but that rounds out to being just about $20,000. Yeah, not cheap. I just think it's really funny because seeing this guitar next to the OM-JM, it's very clear that the OM-JM is the overall 20th anniversary vibe and kind of aesthetic they were going for. And then with the OM-45, they just took that and ran with it. They just went absolutely nuts with that aesthetic and just made this thing, I mean, just looks wild. Look at the back with that Guatemalan rosewood. It's gorgeous. All Martin acoustics are just so beautiful, and these very high-end versions are quite honestly works of art. Not only are they instruments, but they're just beautiful. The way the inlays are, the body with the silver around the trim as well. I think that is just such a cool take on the guitar, and they were talking about how it's inspired by John's very first signature guitar. I think that's a really cool touch that they've done with this to kind of give it some sort of nod to John's original OM-28JM. Reading from the description on the OM-45, it says, the Martin OM-45 John Mayer Signature Platinum Limited Edition is a gorgeous high-end model to commemorate the 20th anniversary of Mayer's popular OM-28JM guitar. It features a fine silver border inspired by the aluminum accent on Mayer's first signature model with Martin, being that OM-28JM. It includes a thinner 1 11/16 inch width at the nut for comfort and speed, and a modified V-shaped neck with a standard taper. Additional appointments to the OM-45 Signature Platinum include an Engelmann spruce top, Guatemalan rosewood back and sides, a gloss finish, satin nickel Waverly tuners, and a bone nut. Comes with the hard shell case, and as mentioned earlier on in the video, both this and the 20th anniversary OMJM will only be produced in the calendar year of 2023, meaning you have 5 days in August, then all of September, October, November, and December to order one of these guitars. However many they order, that's going to be it. Same for both. I'll quickly run through the specifications for you all, just very quickly and briefly just to touch on it. I don't believe Martin makes a current OM-45, like a standard version, standard OM-45. There are custom shop versions you can find on Reverb, but for John's signature version of the guitar, the body type is a 000 14 fret, top wood is Engelmann spruce, the back and sides are Guatemalan rosewood, bracing and pattern is a scalloped X with a gloss body finish. Neck shape is modified V with a standard taper, the nut width is 1.687 inches, fingerboard is ebony, the neck wood is genuine mahogany, scale length is 25.4 inches, 20 frets, a gloss neck finish, and an ebony bridge. Saddle and nut is bone nut and compensated bone saddles. Other specifications, the tuning machines are Waverly, nickel open gear, orientation, obviously right-handed, 6 strings case, hard shell case. Yeah, this thing better come with a hard shell case for 20 grand. When it comes to the OM-45, I think my favorite thing just overall about this guitar is that there are some clear design nods to the original OM-28JM, like they mentioned with the bordering around the guitar. This time they used pure silver, which is absolutely wild, but even the inlay on the bridge and the headstock as well. I've googled OM-45s and none of them have that extra inlay that they've done on the Mayer signature version, which is just really cool and kind of mirrors that original OM-28, which I think is a really nice touch, especially because that's what the whole 20th anniversary is about. His very first signature guitar ever, and kind of celebrating 20 years of it. Now, I am extremely confident that we will see John playing this, the OM-45, on the upcoming parts of the solo tour. This being just the crazy every appointment and kind of option checked off version for the 20th anniversary. I would just be extremely shocked if John didn't play this as part of the solo tour. Of course, it being part of this year, being the 20th anniversary. So if he's going to play this guitar anytime, it would be during the 20th anniversary. So we can for sure, I think, expect to see this guitar, and I really hope the 20th anniversary version of the OMJM on tour as well. And this guitar, I'm sure, in these images, it looks absolutely gorgeous, and in person, I'm sure it's just going to be insane, especially with that silver border. Man, that's going to be just crazy, and I'm sure, like all Martins, honestly, it's going to sound absolutely fantastic. And with looking forward to hopefully seeing both of these guitars in John's hands on the upcoming parts of the solo tour, that kind of concludes today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on the overall style and aesthetic of the Martin John Mayer 20th anniversary with that Grey Sunburst, just overall kind of finish that both of them have in common, that theme. Do you like it? Is it not for you? Do you wish they went in a different direction? Are you planning on picking up the OMJM? Are you planning on picking up the OM-45? Let me know your guys' thoughts as always in the comments down below. All the comments are always appreciated. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already and you liked today's video. That's also greatly appreciated and just lets me know I'm doing a great job. And until next time, you guys, thank you so very much for watching today's video. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Anyway, go ahead and click the subscribe button if you like what you see.